This prophecy, this prophecy is the sudden birth of a nation in a single day. The wound of the earth, yet ask, can children be conceived in travail? Can they come forth without travail is mother, without the pain of labor? Can it? Can it? We know what the answer is. So whoever heard of such a thing? Shall the earth be brought forth in one day, or a nation be born at once? We found the source. Because, as I said, on May 14th, 1948, the world, not people, the world, witnessed what appeared to be a fulfillment of the ancient word. A nation that was born, yet we must examine this spiritual fruit of those who return to that land. Those who bore not the unmutable marks, this unmutable marks of those who were scattered. Like the leopard without spots claiming to be the original creature, the deception was hidden in plain sight. Did you know that? I want to show you something the way you can sit there and see. See, you had one told this. One told this. One told this. Gamel Nessar. He said this in 1965. He said, Israel left the house of bondage black. They left the house of bondage black, came back white. They came back white. That day is an original copy of the paper. If you see that, that's Saturday, May 15th, because on May 14th is when that happened. And you see the Zionists proclaimed a new state of Israel, Truman recognizing it hopes for peace. Tel Aviv is bombed, Egypt orders invasion. This is not a thing where we sit there and we hold to where we cheer in all this, but we see what's happening. See, when we're looking at the spiritual this parable, this intrusion, we got to imagine the vineyard. The vineyard. The breaches are scattered suddenly. So what happened is, it's this imposter who proclaims, lo, I am the heir. This nation springing up from the dust. Without the travail, this long affliction, without bearing the marks of inheritance, this is called the child, appearing to be grown strangers, calling themselves son, yet bearing not the resemblance of the fathers, nor the labor of the mother. So the prophet Jeremiah cries out. He cries out this to where we see this, to understand what's going on. Let's look at it. We'll see this here in Jeremiah. And Jeremiah tells us in 1323, and it tells us this. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or leopard his spots? Can it? Is it possible? Is it possible? Can a Ethiopian change his skin or a leopard his spots? No. You know they can't. So you can see the deeper spiritual mystery concealed in the prophets of Jeremiah, the ancient question, can an Ethiopian change his skin or leopard his spots? See, here lies the parable within a parable. The Most High speaks not merely of the impossible of man's transformation, but reveals the profound truth of the covenant of his people. Observe this spiritual contradiction. You see it before you, in your face. You see it. You see this. You see this here. So you can't get around it. You can't change it. You can't do nothing about it. It's there. It's there. So look at this and understand what it is. When you're looking at Jeremiah, It's right here. It's right here. You can't miss it. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or a leopard his spots? Is that possible? You know it's not. So we today observing this spiritual contradiction that exposes the great deception. How can children of Israel who went through this captivity bearing the marks of their Chaldean and Ethiopian heritage, Jerusalem, dark skin, as the prophet himself declares, return to Jerusalem as a people different in countenance? Is that possible? Can an Ethiopian change his skin? The scriptures itself declares it's impossible. Yet, we're looking at a mystery. Those who claimed the inheritance in 1948 bear not the appearance of those who were scattered. You can't beat it. You can't even go against it. You can't even go against this. So the question of color, captivity, the marks, the scattered, the identity. So when you have children of Israel who entered into captivity in darkness, bearing this huge black sudden return, those who are white, is that making sense? It is written in the signs of flesh, mainly when we remain in the journey, affliction leaves this mark. The true color of inheritance is this kind. So as a leopard, his spots, the word came as agreed to all these nations. No, it's impossible. So the Most High seeth not as man seeth. Man looketh upon the outward appearance. You understand what I'm saying? But Jehovah looks upon the heart. So we got to look at the lifestyle of the covenant. We're already bearing the mark. We got to look at the identity. We have to look at the identity of these people. I'm going to show you something. Show you something we can't get around. Actually, let me put it over here. I'll show you something we can't get around. Let's look at this in Galatians. Galatians chapter 5, in verse 20, we're going to start at 22. And it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. This is interesting. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because this is put on inside who his true servants are. This proven down through the corridor of history. Even in our dispersion, even in our affliction, the true children of Israel, the true children, have manifested a heart to all people. Tell me I'm lying. Please, someone tell me I'm lying. Please. We have those other ones, which I'm going to show you in 1 second, but mainly the children of Israel who bear that mark. We're some of the most lovingest people you ever want to run into. Showing mercy to their oppressors, extending kindness to strangers. It is written, against such there ain't no law. Consider this testimony. I want you to look at something. I want you to see something within this people. I want you to understand something within this people. We're going to look at Judges. I want you to understand something. Judges, we're going to look at chapter 11. We're going to pick it up at verse 26. So I want to show you something because it says, and while Israel dwelt in Hasbon, in her towns, and in Enor, in her towns, and in the cities that belonged to the coast of Aaron, 300 years. Why we have to look at this? 300 years. Why therefore they did ye not recover them within that time? The purpose is, if you go read this whole thing, we are a peaceable people. For 300 years, we didn't try to take over anything. We dwelt there. 300 years, we didn't try to change the markers of land. This peaceable disposition, this reluctant to shed blood to save the righteous and defend the homeless. So the true mark, the true seed of Abraham, we sojourned among nations, causing no trouble, seeking no conquest, but walking humbly before God. We can't get around this. Now, just like I said, we all got bad seeds. And I don't run from that. I don't run from that, but I want you to see this. Because we got to look at this in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, picking up at verse 11. Because it says, in those days there went out of Israel a wicked men. Wicked men. So it's telling you it's plural. plural, not singular, who was persuaded by many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathens. We're going to go make a covenant with them that's round and about us. For since we have departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Yeah. So I'm not saying all are good. I would never say that, ever, because I know we have bad seeds here. So this is the thing. It marks that the spiritual tragedy through we have made this covenant, but then the heathens in this world making this great confusion among the people of Israel, because they have departed from this ancient past, mixing with the seed of these uncircumcised, adopting the customs of these strangers, and obscuring their identity and weakening the covenant line. But even in this falling away, the remnant preserves the mark of the Father's house, this unchangeable hue that bears witness. You can see it today. You can even see when we have some of our feasts. Whites come. We don't sit there and treat them no different than anyone else. We don't give them weird looks. Hey, what are you doing? You don't see anything going on. Nothing. See, with this sudden birth of a nation, 1948, it acclaimed by the world. It lacks the travail of the spiritual identity scattered by the children of Israel. So when we look at this, new vine are grafted in overnight, but not of the holy root, where the heart of love of all the people. You follow me? Where's the peaceable nature proven through centuries? I'm showing it to you. Where's this peaceable nature? See, there marks the captivity of this passage. Those who claimed inheritance bears neither the flesh nor the spirit of those who were scattered. You follow me? They don't bear neither one. They don't bear the image or in spirit that was scattered. And they revealing themselves as counterfeits in the sight of the Most High. This is the sharp edge of the crafty counsel. They attempt to make an inheritance not through spirit or blood and promise, but through mockery. Those who say they are and are not. For the true children remain in their dispersion, bearing both outward marks as they sojourn in the inward fruit of the Spirit. Awaiting for that day of Jehovah shall gather them from the four corners, the four winds of the earth. And the wonders not can gainsay. So we got a warning of the similitude. See, it's likened unto a masquerade. A leopard painted over his spots. A man changed his garment under these skies that remain always has been. Or as wheat and tares grow together in the field, outwardly alike. But when the Lord harvests, discerns between the true and the counterfeit. So we have to look at the true deception on what it is. The true deception. The true deception is ish. I-S-H, ish. You follow me? Are you guys listening to me? I'm talking to myself. The true deception is ish. I-S-H. Ish. See, ish is bearing an appearance, not the essence. It's bearing an appearance, not the essence. It's bearing an appearance, not the essence. The outward shows the lacking of the true root. They call themselves Jewish, but not of Jacob's stocks, born in that day, but not delivered by the trivial of prophecy. So we got to consider this parable of this ancient vineyard. You got to consider that. This veneer planted this choice vine in the most precious plot. We got to remember that. Intending to the fruit to yield the wine of eternal covenant. Yet the serpent, that old deceiver, that old deceiver, spread to his servant 4 corruptions to destroy divine purity. Like the mingling of wheat and tares spoke by our Lord, these 4 pillars of deception worketh as spiritual poison. Did you know that? I want you to write them down. Keep this in mind. Write them down, keep it in mind. See, first, how they want to put out this spiritual poison. First, the mingling of seed to corrupt the bloodline. Keep that in mind. The mixing of seed to corrupt the bloodline. So when Pharaoh commanded the midwives to destroy the male children, even as Haman sought to corrupt Israel through the intermarriage of assimilation. In our day, this crafty counsel promotes the mingling of the holy seed with the people of the land. That this distinct lineage could be obscured, the promise avoided. You follow me? We got to look at the second one. The second one is interesting. See, the second one is the theft of identity. Yeah, it is. It's the theft of identity. False claiming. Second, they identity through false claiming. When even when we're looking at Esau, who sold his birthright for one morsel of meat, and then despising his inheritance, yet later sought to reclaim it through the manifold of deceptions. So we got to remember how Esau's treachery unfolds. How he bittered away his covenant. He bartered itself. He bartered it away. Thinking. And then conspired later to murder his own brother Jacob, saying in his heart, in the day that, actually, I want to tell you what, let me see, I got to go. But he said it even in his heart, that once his father is dead, he was going to slay his brother. So when we're looking at this, we got to understand what's going on. But I want to show you something. I want to show you this so I won't lose my thought. I want to show you something. In Genesis 28, what most people really fail to understand, that's why I want to go here, because I don't want to lose my train of thought here. Okay, even in that day, the plot was discovered. But Esau perceived the daughters of Canaan. He already knew this because his father didn't want him to go there. Isaac didn't want him to go there. So what ended up happening, what we're going to look at is this here. And it says, seeing Esau seeing the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac, his father. Okay, we got to clearly understand what went on here, because this is always taught in a negative. And it says, then Esau went unto Ishmael and took wives which he had of, telling you right there, Mathalath, and the daughters of Ishmael, Abraham's son, and Nebajoth to be his wife. Now, this was the issue. But he knew these displeased his father. So he went to Ishmael. I want you to understand what he did. He went to Ishmael and he took wives of them, thinking he can carry favor through this strategic alliance of his father's kin. His father told him don't go to Canaan. His father never said don't go to Ishmael. Now y'all get the point? This is why he went to Ishmael. He knew the Canaan ones displeased his father. So he went to Ishmael's children and he went there, thinking he'd get some favor there. So that was the issue. But they teach that it was Ishmael too. No, he said don't go to Canaan. He said, well, I tell you what, my father might like me going to Ishmael. This is his kin. Let me go there. And no, that still didn't work. So this was the first attempt of deception, appeared to be righteous by association. His heart remained unchanged. Yet the cunning of Esau further, he sought to reclaim through violence, and the same as political maneuvering. He forfeited through this carelessness that he had. He built his kingdom on Mount Seir. He harbored this resentment against the covenant line, watching for the opportunity to supplant the chosen seed. Constantly, rather than through repentance of the divine appointment. So like thieves entered into the sheepfold, not at the door, but by the way of modern Edomites claimed the garments. The Trojan bearing not their blood, but they employed the same the same stigma as the father Esau. So the strategic marriages of these political alliances, the assumption of religious